It's harvest day. So, if you wonder how big pole beans can get, here's a quick glimpse into how big and crazy wild they'll get. These on this side right here, these pole beans that you see, these are the Blue Wander. And I have to harvest. Wow, look at all of this. And there's a lot of blooms. More green beans on the way. If you're gonna grow green beans, I definitely recommend growing bush beans as well as pole beans, just because you know, your bush beans will give you a good harvest a couple of times and then they're done. But if you grow pole beans, as long as you have support for the pole beans, they're gonna keep on giving you green beans. And I've got my dragon tongue green beans in here, bush variety, and the yellow wax in here as well. Those will start producing for me soon. Guys, look at this monster-sized squash. I mean, here's my hand. There's a squash. A contender for my harvest this year of the biggest squash I've harvested so far. Beautiful. I have been keeping an eagle eye on these tomatoes for a while, just wanting to harvest them, and the time is here. I mean, look at that. Look at how beautiful. All organic Roma tomato. That is exciting. And there's 2 ready right now. Here in a couple of days, some more will be ready. We're not even halfway through harvesting stuff, and look at how much I already have. There's a ton of green beans in those vines up there, but I'm too short. So I'll have my husband come out here. But look at this. This is some good eating right here. Got a whole bunch here ready. Let's harvest some of the cherry tomatoes. Delicious. Here's a whole cluster just ready to be harvested. It's beautiful. It's like little grapes. Oh, tomatillos. This is gonna make a beautiful pork and salsa verde, or enchiladas verdes, green enchiladas. My peppers, need to harvest these as well. And then look at this. Here's a little bell pepper coming in. This is a yellow bell. And then over here, hiding in here, this is a poblano pepper. And there's quite a bit more in here. You can see they're in there. Your snap peas, ready to be harvested again. There's more. There's some here, and then some over here. This really is one of my favorite times of the day, just coming out here and checking on these guys. I mean, look at this. These are zucchini, bush variety. Those are gonna get transplanted soon. And then look at all these tomatoes back here. Look at the gorgeous color on this leaf. This is the Black Beauty tomato. Those are gonna get transplanted here pretty soon as well. Then I also planted some other stuff the other day, ground cherries. These are my sugar magnolia peas here, and they're getting big. And of course this, I have a couple of these around here, but this is my Ronde Denise squash, which if you look in here, has some tiny little female plants. Really do love when all of your hard work is just starting to show. In here, this is a yellowneck squash. We have some more female flowers, some male flowers there. While I'm here, I do want to share something with you that often gets asked. So this is not powdery mildew. Actually, this is This particular squash, the Ronde Denise, this is how their leaf pattern looks. This right here, this is a yellow crooked neck squash. This pattern on the leaf is just solid green. You'll know you have powdery mildew if you lift your leaves up and if you have white spotty dots underneath your leaves. That's how you really know if this is just the leaf pattern or if you really do have powdery mildew. And of course the cilantro, I've been harvesting a lot from it, and just the other day I cut a whole bunch off of it, and now look, there's new growth coming in. My basil has just blossomed incredibly beautiful. My Kajari seedlings have sprouted out. And these have a really tall trellising system here. We've got some blacktail seedlings here. Royal golden watermelon here. This is our lemon squash. This container holds about 2 different varieties, a couple of different watermelons. They're Blacktail Mountain watermelons and Sugar Baby. Check out our cucumbers. So if you remember this guy, he used to be itty bitty, just popping out of the ground, and now look at him. He's gotten huge and he still has a good ways to grow. Tons of blossoms. I'm incredibly ecstatic about this. Get some fresh cucumbers. We've got another squash plant here, and if you look, there's a baby squash right there. We've got plenty of squash here, some new growth down there coming in. This one here, because of all of the rain we've had, there was blossom end rot. So I just take it off and I just toss it aside. There's no point in the plant putting so much energy into a fruit that's not going to produce. Oh, we have some strawberries in here. I'm going to have the kids come out here and harvest some of these. Here's some more coming in. This here is a tower. You could put miscellaneous plants in here. I opted to put some strawberries, as you can see, coming in, and then down in some of the lower ones, some bush beans. Our lime trees here. Alright, I've got some pole beans here. These are the Kentucky Wonder, and they are definitely wandering around, so I'm just gonna kind of tuck her in so she could trellis. And I want her to grow through the fence here. Here's the other side of our tomatillo plant. This rain has definitely made some of these happy. I've got, I mean, look at this. So many Roma tomatoes in here. I love Roma tomatoes. We use them a lot for enchiladas. And down below I have another squash plant growing vertically. And she's starting to set off a lot of male blooms. Now, when squash plants are first starting, they'll send off all the male blooms, if you will, to kind of do a test trial. And then after that, they'll start shooting out the female blooms as well. This is a different starting point of Kajari melon. I started this a couple of weeks before the other one in the container. Down here we have a golden king of Siberia. This is Barry's Crazy Cherry. Yes, Barry's Crazy Cherry. Here's our okra bed. I love okra, y'all. I'm gonna line up what we harvested today, and then as I'm doing that, I just want to share some nuggets of wisdom with you. If you live in the city and you think that growing some form of sustainable vegetables for a meal night or anything like that is out of the question. I want to tell you not to be discouraged, because as you can see here, I live in the city. I have I want to say normal sized backyard, and I am growing an abundant amount of food for weeknight or weekend meals, and it's all organic. Utilize vertical growing as much as you can, just like I've done in my garden. And this is just from one day of harvest. I'm sure when we come back out tomorrow, the following day, we'll have more to harvest from then as well. But guys, you can do it. It's possible. Let's encourage one another and have a great harvest. I'll see you next time here on Texas Size Gardening.